My Redmercy store is now live. Check it out to swag up your wardrobe. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new episode of the Did You Know series. This one is going to be featuring our Yordle ninja, Kennen. As usual, if you end up enjoying this episode, don't forget to hit that like button. But let's get right into his abilities. Kennen's passive at 3 stacks will stun his target for 1 second, but if you happen to stun that same target again within 7 seconds of the previous one, then the second stun will only be for about half the duration. This is called having a diminishing return. Kennen's passive also gives him 25 energy back after he does stun a target, but if the target were to die as the third mark is applied, Kennen will still get the energy even though technically the stun doesn't go off. Did you know that the range indicator for Kennen's Q ability is not true? Looking at the video, Sivir is clearly standing outside of the range of the Q, but as I throw it, Kennen still hits her with it. Kennen's Q will be blocked by Yasuo's Wind Wall and also Braum's Shield. However, with the case of Braum's Shield, he cannot stop the application of Kennen's passive. As of a very recent patch, Kennen can now use his W active on targets without a passive mark on them, as long as they are within your ultimate, which in my opinion is quite a big buff. W's passive will apply on-hit effects, for example lifesteal and even critical strikes, though the critical damage is separate from the bonus damage applied with the W. Kennen's passive on his W will go through Fiora's parry, applying the passive, but only dealing the magical portion to her. And it seems like the exact same thing happens with Jax's dodge. Just like the other two, Pantheon only blocks the AD portion of the W. But if he was completely blinded, the auto attack will just simply miss the target altogether. However, the W's passive will not get wasted. But looking at his W interacting with the wind wall, it does not go through, but again, the stack is not lost, and the active effect going through without any problem. But let's take a look at the exact same scenario but with Braum's Shield. The damage is indeed blocked, however the application of the passive is not, much like the interaction with Kennen's Q and Braum's Shield. And just for demonstrational purposes, the active effect of W does go through. A cool thing about Kennen's W is that it can reveal invisible champions around you, assuming you have a stack of your passive already on them, and on top of that, it will also let you activate the item hitting them while they're stealth. But to build on top of this, if the champion is within a brush, it can also reveal their position while also being able to use your W on them. Kennen Z on top of the move speed also grants him bonus MR and armor. But did you know that cancelling his E prematurely will remove the move speed bonus, but the armor and MR bonus will remain for the 4 seconds. Kennen's Q ability, the W active only, his E, and 1 tick of his ultimate can all be blocked by Spell Shield, but the W passive cannot. A great thing about Kennen's ultimate is that it does not act as a channel type ability, meaning you're able to activate your ultimate and then pop the Zhonya's and have the ultimate still go off hitting nearby champions. Alright guys, let's go into some cool facts and lore about Kennen. Did you know that Kennen was designed by someone named Jeeves, who created this champion during his internship at Riot Games, along with Gragas? Oddly enough, it seems like the voice artist for Kennen is still unknown, for whatever reason. Much like a lot of the other champions I have mentioned in this series, Kennen was also in the pool of champions for the Ionia vs Noxus match, but the difference is he was actually selected by someone named Eclipse, who ended up going 4-0 and 14 with him. Did you know that Kennen's dance is a reference to something called air flare, which is a popular breakdancing move? In German and Dutch, the word Kennen means to be familiar with. Kennen's quote upon being selected,
"The eyes never lie,"
could be referring to Shen, whose title is the Eye of Twilight and is the leader of the 3 ninjas Akali, Kennen, and of course Shen. From this, let's go into his lore. Within the Ionian Isles, there is an ancient order dedicated to the preservation of balance. This order is called the Kinku, and it has 3 warriors upholding it, one of which is Kennen, whose duty is to convey the justice of the Kinku. Kennen was born in Bandle City, a city of Yordles. From birth, he had boundless energy that seemed to have no limits, even as he matured. The only thing matching his energy was his speed, and one day he was dared to run up the greater outer wall of the Placidium. Word of this feat spread, and the Kinku order brought him in for an audience, and shortly after, Kennen found his place as the heart of the Tempest under the Kinku order, working alongside Akali and Shen. Speaking of Shen, Kennen and Shen both share a quote,
"From the shadows."
From the shadows.
He also seems to share a quote with Aurelia,
"Balance in all things."
Balance in all things.
Did you know that in the lore, the Kinku Order are at war with Zed and his Order of Shadows? Akali wants Zed dead, while Kennen is willing to forgive him as long as he is willing to seek redemption. It also seems like Kennen enjoys listening to Sona's music. Karate Kennen most likely refers to the movie Karate Kid. Deadly Kennen's color scheme seems very similar to Deadpool from Marvel. Swamp Master Kennen could refer to Yoda from Star Wars. Kennen MD is a skin theme he shares with Akali and Shen, the three Kinku ninjas. In the artwork for the skin, it seems like it's showing Cho'Gath who ultied a blue melee minion. Arctic Kennen has him throwing kunais instead of shurikens, and he shares this theme with Varys. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Kennen. If you did enjoy the episode, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. You can also submit who you want to see on the next episode, or if there are any cool theories you want me to go over, just make sure to provide a link. But I also recommend checking out the previous episodes of this series and my videos in general. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and hope to see you for the next one. Peace.